How are you doing? This is Bruce Lee. Backyard Boom Reading, Chapter 4, be continued. He glanced at her, and the hatred he saw in her face frightened and astonished him. He did not understand that his pity exasperated her. She saw in him pity for herself, but not love. Yes, she hates me. She will not forgive, he thought. This is terrible, he said. At this moment, a child who had probably fallen down in the next room started crying. Dolly listened, and her face suddenly softened. For a few seconds, she seemed to be trying to pull herself together, as though she did not know where she was or what she had to do. Then she got up quickly and moved toward the door. But she doesn't love my child. But she does love my child, he thought, noticing how her face changed when the child cried. My child, how then can she hate me? Dolly, one more word, he said, going up to her. If you follow me, I shall call the servant, the children. Let them all know that you are a blackguard. I am going away today, and you can live here with your mistress. And she went out, slamming the door behind her. Oblonsky sighed, wiped his face, and went quietly out of the room. Matvey says it'll come right, but how? I don't see any possibility. Oh, how dreadful! And the way she screamed, how unladylike, he said to himself as he recalled her scream, and the word blackguard and mistress, and the maid may have heard terribly, unladylike, terribly. Oblonsky stood still for a couple of seconds, wiped his eyes, sighed, and pushing out his chest, went out of the room. It was Friday, and in the dining room, the German watchmaker was winding the clock. Oblonsky remembered the joke he had once made about this conscientious and punctual bald-headed watchmaker, the German, he had said, had been wounded for life to wind up clocks. He remembered it and smiled. Oblonsky was fond of a good joke. Well, he thought to himself, perhaps things will come right. What an excellent expression. Come right is, he thought. I must tell someone about it. Matvey, he called. See that you and Maria get a small drawing room ready for Mrs. Karenina, he said when Matvey appeared. Very good, sir. Oblonsky put on his fur coat and went out on the front steps. Will you be in for dinner, sir? Asked Matvey, seeing him off at the front door. It depends. Here, take this for the housekeeping, he said, giving him a 10-ruble note from his wallet. Will that be enough? Enough? Why not? I suppose it will have to do, said Matvey, slamming the carriage door and moving back to the front steps. In the meantime, Dolly, having soothed the child and realizing by the sound of the carriage that her husband had gone, returned to the bedroom. It was her one place of refuge from the household chaos which crowded upon her the moment she left it. Even now, during the short time she had spent in the nursery, the English governess and Matriona had managed to ask her several questions that brooked no delay and which only she could answer. How are the children to be dressed for their walk? Ought they to have any milk? Should not a new cook be engaged? Oh, please leave me alone, she said, and, returning to the bedroom, sat down again in the same chair where she had sat when talking to her husband. She clasped her emaciated hand with the rings hanging loosely from her bony fingers and began going over in her mind the conversation they had had. She has gone. But what has he done about her? She thought. He isn't still seeing her, is he? Why did I not ask him? No, no, it'll never work. Even if we go on living in the same house, we shall remain strangers. Strangers always. She repeated again with special emphasis on the word she found so dreadful. And how I loved. Good Lord, how I loved him. How I loved. And don't I love him even now? Don't I love him even more than ever now? What's so dreadful is that she began, but did not finish the thought, because Matryona poked her head through the door. Oh, would you like me to send for my brother? Asked Matryona. He could at least get dinner ready. Otherwise, it'll be like yesterday again, and the children won't have a bite to eat till at least 6 o'clock. Well, all right, I will come presently and see about it. And the fresh milk? Has it been sent for? And Dolly, absorbed in her daily cares, drowned her grief in them for a while. Thank you for your visiting here.